Welcome to my crib, but now we are not going into our crib. We are going into destination reached, and you can see pretty nice steep mountains, hills probably it would be said better. So yesterday we arrived to Slovakia and already had initial ride after a journey, so it was 8 hours, almost 8 hours trip to Neslusa. I had a ride today alone and I realized that Houston we have a problem. We will have to do some maintenance for the bike as well as change the tires, and I don't have enough hands, so we will return. So in this video you won't only learn where we will live in Slovakia. It was a steep stairs, but also you will have ability to understand how much stuff I bring by myself. Yes, this time I bring my bike stuff simply because it's kind of very hard to do any maintenance without it once you get used to it, and instead of going on the knees around the bike, it just simplifies things and doesn't take that much space in the luggage compartment, so why not? The views are nice, but they are even nicer from the inside. So to wrap things about the bike and the stuff, I will change the chainring to 32 oval. Now it's 34 oval and it's too big because the climbs are really steep here, and I will also add new tires. What tires? Let's leave it for now. The bikes are in the house. The funny thing is that our host tried to convince us to leave the bikes outside, just like, yeah, just leave it under that table and it will be all fine. We kind of explained them that no, we will bring them to the top and it's no problem for us. But once we return after the ride in the evening, they tried another round of convincing, a bit deeper into the yard, like, yeah, you can just leave it, it will be safe. And to be honest, I will show you. There is a person, I don't want to talk loudly, but basically this mountain is Tabor or something like that. We just decided to bring our bikes upstairs and that's kind of it. Yeah, so about the house. It's a bit spacious here. It's for 5 people actually. Usually when there are less people who lives in an apartment, it costs less than it would be 5 person. And actually the reason why we choose such locations from time to time is because if it's more expensive, like €2 per day compared to some flat in the center of the city which is very small, etc. So it's just no-brainer to choose this type of thing. But as you can hear, in this house, the host also lives, so they are in the first floor or something. So it's kind of strange when you have someone who lives in your Airbnb and you start construction in the house. So you knew that you already booked and you start doing something. It's not too much of an issue because we can put our headphones on and that's kind of it to do the job. We kind of work at the same time, but it's just nonsense in my opinion. And the views, even if it's Tabor hill or mountain, it's nice. So about the host, thankfully they don't know that I'm going to do the bike maintenance here, and actually the doors are open, so I'm going to close them. Yesterday we arrived here and we haven't checked anything in regards to what is in the city, etc. because this Neslusa doesn't have much shop. You have to go down to our city, and apparently it's public holiday today and we had no food at all. All the shops were closed. Thanks God we had tomatoes from the host, but we also find one shop where the guy was under counter and he just bring everything you ask for. So it was very uncommon to shop in such a shop, because imagine that the guy just stands like in the 90s, I guess, and you ask, you want eggs, you want milk, and he's running around the counter to bring you the goods. Whatever. Why we happen to end up in Slovakia? No, we're not going to hiking. Maybe at some day when we are free. Our journeys and trips usually based on how my racing calendar looks like. Thanks, Neringa. After Maratony Kresowe, it was kind of in the middle, not actually exactly, but then I planned the trip to Žilina, near Žilina, Sniečka. Here MTB marathon is going to happen, and I decided to give it a shot and start for the first time in Slovakia. And actually it's going to be 50 kilometers by organizers. What they say, it's 1,500 meters of elevation, but actually I uploaded their GPX to Strava and it's 51 and 1.8 elevation gain. So you can see the profile here, and maybe I will animate this in the future somehow nicely, and you will be just shocked by that production quality. Last thing before we cut this off, today I ridden with 2.2 at the back, so I just did around 30 kilometers with almost 1k of elevation, and I thought I might die in some places because maybe I had a bit too much air, but in general it's just very loose, slippery, and 2.2 is like, maybe you can get used to it, but I'm not going to, because I'm here for a short time. So I'm going to add 2.4s and hopefully it will be better. Also, I'm going to put the bike on the stand, re-grease all the pivots, because I was not able to do it before we left. So that was just yet another excuse to bring the bike stand. So I'm hopefully not going to break things here. Video about Maratony Kresowe shortly will drop into the channel, so you can have a look about that, how the race happened in Michalovo. Other than that, our trip to Slovakia will not end up only in this race, so you can be sure that there will be something else to offer. So that's it. Thanks for the time, and I hope to see you around.